Hi guys, so I just thought I'd do a real quick video just to show you how I feed my breeder buckets. So I keep them on this tray which slides in and out under the flow through bin, just to keep them a bit shaded, and I've got a bit of ply that I put in front because as the sun goes down it beats into the barn here, so I just want to keep them a bit shaded. But it's easy to just slide it out like this. So what I've been doing is I've been feeding them every couple of days, and I made a feed, very easy to make feed. I just keep it in a little bag. Obviously you don't go through a lot with the amount of worms I've got here. I made a little bag for them. I just keep it in this pot here to stop earwigs getting in it, because they will get in there, they love it. But basically I used chicken layers pellets, with oats 50/50, and I just put them in the Ninja blender, give them a real good whiz until it was a fine powder, and then I mixed in a few dried eggshells blended in with it, for a bit of calcium, and it gives them a bit of grit as well to help them, because they're a bit like chickens. They have a gizzard, and they sort of, that helps them to grind the food up. And I also put a pinch of, on the veg garden, and that I use every now and again. I use a bit of volcanic rock dust. It's supposed to be rich in minerals, things like that. So I'd heard about people putting in a pinch of that into their worm bins, so I put a pinch of that in as well. All blended up in the Ninja until it's basically a fine powder. As you can see, you can see a few little chunks of sort of corn out of the chicken feed, sort of very fine, and the oats are pretty much powdered, but it's just a bit of a gritty powder basically. But that is basically a complete food. It's all you need to do, and all I do is every 2 days, I've it's pretty much the same. I'll give them like a three-fingered pinch, about that much, a three-fingered pinch. I'll just pull back the plastic, sprinkle that into the center. You want to try and get all the worms to come together, so basically just sprinkled into the center like that, and then rainwater, just give it a little bit. Occasionally the buckets will dry around the edge as well, so I'll give the edges a bit of a squirt. But just give a squirt onto the feed, just to dampen it, and that's it, done. Three-fingered pinch, center of the bucket, get them all to come together to do what's needed, do the deed, dampen it down. A little bit on the plastic sometimes, back in. Do that every 2 days, and then they'll be in here for 3 weeks, and then we'll sift the eggs out, put them back into fresh bedding, and just keep the whole process going. So I'm going to keep doing this all summer. As we go into winter, I may increase the amount of buckets I do. I'm gonna move the whole process into my garage, and try and get a good load of worms built up indoors. When I do my outdoor bed, which I'm doing, I'm emptying this flow through bin because I've realised it's a bit broken. It's not going to work. So that's going into an outdoor bed, and I'm going to probably empty these recycling bins into the outdoor bed too. So I might increase my buckets to 4, maybe 6, and then through the winter I'll keep the worms going, and I'll sift the eggs out into the recycling bins, which I'll then feed as they hatch, and then that will give me a nice big population of worms to start in the spring with, just in case I lose any worms in the bed to freezing weather. Obviously any cocoons that are in the bed will survive freezing, and they will hatch and sort of help to repopulate. But if I can build myself up a nice batch of ready to go worms in the spring, then that just covers me. And if we have a mildish winter and I don't lose any worms, then I've just got a whole shed load of worms that I can do whatever I want with. So yeah, so basically, quick video, like I say, that's how I feed them every 2 days. They get through that amount, and but what I will do every day, I come in and I just have a little look to see if the compost is drying at all around the edge, and I'll just give it a little spray, 3 or 4 sprays with the rainwater, just to dampen that compost down again, because I don't want them drying out too much. It does get a bit warm and there's always a breeze, but they're not in direct sunlight, so we're just having some high temperatures at the moment. So I check them every day and give them a little bit of a spray with water if needed. But yeah, so that's it. Feed in the breeder bins. See you next time, guys.